25th January 2017. Today market opened with a large gap but was not able to hold well and eventually retraced, covering the gap, forming a reversal bar with increased volume down 2.83039. The fact that actually we have increased volume on a down bar is likely to continue to pull back, so you should be careful if you have any long positions. Since January itself, we are seeing very strong rally that bring the STI above 3000 psychological resistance, and that appears as a support. We managed to actually bounce on from here. Markets remain strong. Short terms, we do expect pullback. Now let's take a look at the dynamic band breakouts today. We have a shorter list of stock compared to yesterday. Yesterday we have quite a long list. Again, always make sure you trade those with very high volumes. This is SPH, and today there's a signal for short. Alright, notice actually the shorts are accompanied with high volume, so this is generally negative. Also take note that we actually have a gap down before, so always tend to trade in the directions of the gap. This is Lipo Trust. If you notice actually Lipo Trust, we have a trigger to long, but stocks like this we do not generally like to trade. These are overlapping bars, so stocks like this tend to be very sluggish, so we avoid stock with such patterns. If you notice DBS warrants, in this case here it is a put warrant, and there was a trigger to actually short, so obviously DBS is going up. We'll take a look later. So take a look at the stock that are currently on the runs. This is Equations. This stock has been running for 17 days. These are ultra penny stocks, and obviously you can see actually stacking on the upper band. In several occasions you trade above the bands with daylight, so this is extremely strong. And here we have a reversal bar, and if you notice there's an opening gap, so close poor, so this is a good opportunity to actually take profit. Stock currently hot. A popular stock is actually Jumbo. Here we have a trigger, and the stock was just trading very nicely. Over here we see the tag and eventually trade below the lower band, so here we would have gotten out. Stock begin to trade sideways, and over here we have a re-entry. Now if you take a look at the series of bars, it'll be better to take a entry just above this high here of 74 cents, because this appeared to be more significant than this intraday high here. So here allow us to early entry, and we have a follow through. Today trade a reversal bar, which is happen to be inside there with slightly lower volume, so this is generally healthy. This is Mermaid. Over here we have a nice trust break with increased volume followed by follow through. If you notice actually we have very big gap, very big daylights, and begin to close up. So over here itself we could have actually gotten out. If you are unsure, you can always take partial profits. In worst case, this is a place where you must get out. If you notice, there was actually a re-entry signal, but you have to be very mindful. The stock itself is trading near 20 cents. Alright, 20 cents is not a place we like to actually take profit, so this is something you have to think note of, because it's at 20 cents itself that the bid size will change. So it's always very challenging when the stock approaches 20 cents. So it's better to actually wait for the stock to actually clear 20.5, and the stock is likely to actually trade much easier. China Aviation Oil. Over here we have a trigger. If you notice actually before that, on this day itself, there's a attempt at this resistance, but it closed poor, and the fact that next day it managed to trade above this high is a positive sign, and follow through. And here we are first tag on the upper band and actually moved up. This is where you get up. So right now stability is still there, it's trading below the band, so we'll just have to wait for a re-entry. Probably will take some time. If you take a look at bigger pictures, if you notice over here we have very obvious resistance, so it's actually good to take profits near a obvious resistance. This is Baswell. This stock has performed quite strongly in fact since last year. Now the stock actually trigger with a gap. Usually we avoid trading when a stock gap up. Notice there was an inside there, and this is where we take the trades. Okay, stop loss will still be the breakout bar low, and notice this tag here, but actually end up with a trust bar, which is good. And today, despite the market bearish sentiments, stocks managed to actually achieve some gain. Again, we slightly increased volume, so this is good. So I'd like to actually manage this closely. So far, it has been actually performing very nicely, just stacking on the upper band. This is some power. Again, notice there's a gap. We don't trade the gaps because there's a risk of failure. But then next day, you take out the gap, we can actually take the trade. Notice actually it was daylights, and it's still maintaining daylight. So this stock is pretty strong. And today again managed to get achieve some gains, slightly low volume. So we got to take note all. It may actually pull back from here. This is Wilmer, perhaps the strongest palm oil related stocks. If you notice over here, we have a trigger. Alright, notice this part is very small. Of course, your stop loss, you probably take it here, and you got stop out. For the end of day traders, you probably do not take the trade until here, which happens to be the next trigger. Okay, and stop loss will be actually low here, and now riding on the upper band, which is very nice. So again, use this band to actually manage your trades. Important thing is not to actually take profit too early. Always unsure, take some profits, but always leave half positions to trail. This is to ensure that you have a very big profit to loss ratio. Now, I mentioned that actually yesterday itself we have a long list of trigger. Alright, you notice the list is very long, and we have a numbers of property related stocks that was also triggered recently. Alright, we notice Hopi Lands, Hong Fok, Wing Tai, Wheelock. So these are stocks that does indicate that the sector itself is indicating strength. This is Wing Tai. Notice actually break with big trust. Alright, so you could have taken some profits here, and today reversible, perhaps get out of positions. Take a look at Wheelock. This is extreme bar, so this is a sign of exhaustions, and it's likely to pull back. So on the close, we can actually sell, or sell half, the next day sell all. Let's take a look at DBS. Perhaps this is the strongest bank stocks. Notice over here, the stocks actually trade very nicely, running on the band, and this is the line, and here you probably get out. Worst case is here when you actually go below the line. Managed to actually do a cup with handle formations, and it broke out yesterday. Today gap ups. Notice actually trade a reversal by increased volume. Again, this is good to take profits, and we wait for our next re-entry. This is Jaffa. Stock triggered yesterday. Today follow throughs. Volume is still fairly good. Notice the bar gets shorter. So again, daylight here, the gap is quite big. So we got to just observe for the next few sessions. If the bar gets shorter, it's a sign of losing momentums. And again, we can always take some partial profits and trail the remaining positions. Now I'd like to actually discuss a stocks which was triggered yesterday. That is Thai Beverage. And notice this stocks has been quite weak despite the market has been running since January. But notice actually stock has been trading down. And over here there was a sideways move. Yesterday we have a trigger, fairly increased volume. Today trade inside there. You notice the band closed up. Because of this reaction. If this had traded a small range bar, it would still be actually alright, but the fact that actually there was a counter move, so it actually closed up. But if you had taken a short here, your stop loss would be still here, so just manage accordingly. The fact that today it traded up with low volume is generally sign of weakness, so we like to actually see this follow through. Now you just have to be more mindful of the overall market sentiments. The market sentiments actually more positive than negative, which means actually stocks we should focus long trade rather than short trades. Now, seeing the fact that the markets today trade a reversal bar, and it's a short-term bearish sign, so we can actually take this opportunity to do some short-term shorts where there's opportunity present. So again, if the stock were to actually break below this low here, 83 cents, we can initiate a short and put a stop loss just one tick above this high here, 85. So likewise in Wall Street, we see very strong move, and currently Dow Jones is trading sideways, and there could be an attempt to break 20,000. So again, our focus to be more long than short, but there are some weak stock like the Thai Beverage and SPH, which are just extremely weak despite the strong market sentiments, and the stocks will more likely to move down during market retracement.